My name is Tim Nichols. I'm Dean of the Honors College at SDSU, and my top 5 strengths are positivity, futuristic, strategic, connectedness, and arranger. The StrengthsQuest or the StrengthsFinder assessment provides a unique framework for and lens through which to view yourself and what you're good at and what others may be good at. And I think that even seasoned professionals can get caught in the game of focusing on our weaknesses. I have a messy office, so what I really need to do is clean my office all the time. Well, maybe not. Maybe what I really need to work at is sending that positive message about the Honors College or about Lead State or about the Common Reading Program and really build that momentum up. So for me, it's just been another area of professional growth and again, a different kind of lens or framework for reflecting about yourself and your work and how you can be more impactful in your relationships with others. Lead State is a targeted leadership development program aimed at sophomores at SDSU that integrates the strengths philosophy and the social change model for leadership development. So the strengths framework, I think, is really an empowering one. They see that they have strengths and that by investing in them, they can grow and become their best possible selves. And then they also learn to see that others have different strengths and that those are equally valuable, and that one of the big lessons about leadership is how can we make those work together. It's been really fun to see Lead State play out in the strengths framework or using the strengths framework. Certainly in work with students, they repeatedly cite it as one of the most impactful aspects of their experience.
My name is Meredith Sauer. I'm a chemistry pre-med major. I'm co-captain on the equestrian team this year, and I am in the Air Force ROTC, and I'm also very involved in the Honors College. I've grown up with a very strong Christian family. It's homeschooled, and they have very strong beliefs. But I think I've come to college, and my belief has allowed me, and I think that strength has allowed me to be more accepting of even other people's beliefs. There are just certain core values that have probably developed because of my religion, but that span across a lot of different religions. And I think that strength allowed me to see why their perspective and why some of their beliefs are so important and integral to them, and how those can maybe benefit me too. Achiever is probably the one that drives me the most, because it kind of tells me that I at least need to get something done every day. I'm a very checklist-oriented person, and like to feel like I've accomplished something. I feel very responsible for things that I do, and so everything I put my name on, I just want to make sure that it's quality, or that if I've said yes to help a friend with something, that I follow through with it. When you have maybe even just a label or some way to categorize something that you feel like you're good at, it kind of helps you see how that plays into the different areas of your life. It's made me more cognizant of what my strengths are and trying to find ways in a group to utilize those strengths, I think.
Hi, my name is Maggie Aldrich, and I am part of the University Program Council. My position is the overall chair for the SDSU State-a-thon, which benefits Children's Miracle Network. Last year we raised over $37,000 for local children, and this year we're trying to raise over $40,000 for local children. As a State-a-thon coordinator, I am a part of a board of 12. I'm also a manager or leader of a board of 12 other students. And through leading those students into this huge development of fundraisers throughout the year, I have seen Activator and Woo and Positivity really play out the most. My Activator is that I like to take action. I don't see any benefit in sitting around and talking about things for a long period of time. I like to get things done, and that is really shown in our goals that we've been setting and continuously meeting throughout the year. My woo is win others over, and that has benefited me a ton because a lot of fundraising is talking to people and getting people to donate to your cause, and people aren't going to donate to you if they don't like you. So if you can win others over and show them that what you're doing is a good cause, it really benefits the whole organization. And finally, positivity has benefited me a whole heck of a lot because as leading the Board of 12 and being part of the Board of 12 and also working and being a student, there's a lot of things that can go wrong and maybe not go according to plan, but with positivity, I always have a positive attitude and stay upbeat about things. We've had a couple fundraisers just go completely awry this year, and having that positive attitude has really helped everyone on the board, I think on UPC and on Statathon, really benefit from seeing how we can learn from things and just move forward and keep going, and I think that's a little bit of my activator working into that as well.
Greg Heiberger, I'm in the biology microbiology department, and I'm the pre-professional coordinator and advisor and instructor in the department. For me, the most exciting part about StrengthsQuest was being able to really have some tangible, concrete information about myself, but also the team that I work with. Personally, I think sometimes we really go into professional development saying we need to learn these strategies or we need to do these certain things, and bringing it back to what are my strengths versus what are my weaknesses and how do I improve them, I think has really been valuable. So coming into working with the sciences, I think obviously having an analytical background was really beneficial, but I also think that strength was really helpful when I wasn't working in that context. So I worked with new student orientation, I worked with first year students, I worked with a group that was not a strength of most people in that field, and I think that's a benefit to be able to bring a strength that not everyone else around the table has is also valuable. So I think I'm playing two sides of the coin here. One is it's really beneficial because you can find some commonalities in what the strengths or needs are of that department, but also I think it's really beneficial because something like analytical, that strength really helped me to stand out and provide a skill set that a team I was a part of needed because that wasn't a common skill set.
Well, my name is Hannah Larson. I'm a junior psychology major from Broughton, South Dakota, and I'm involved in the Honors College on campus, and I'm also an admissions ambassador and a community assistant in Matthews Hall. And I took the StrengthsQuest through the Lead State program for sophomore students. Empathy, which was my top strength, was probably the one that I use the most. I'm pretty intuitive, and I can usually read people and tell when people are upset, when people are holding back, and when people aren't saying how they really feel. And so that's really helped me in group settings to be able to make sure that everyone's input is heard. I really like the empathy strength because I am able to sort of put myself in another person's shoes, and that helps me too. And when I have a disagreement with someone, I'm usually able to see it from their point of view as well, because I can see where they're coming from and how they got the feelings that they have about a certain issue. I want to have an active role in what's going on, and so sometimes it can be hard for me to surrender leadership roles or to let other people take charge of things because I want to be involved in everything and I want to be a part of everything that's happening. And so it's hard to say no and to trust other people to be able to do things just as well as I could do them. And so that's something I've really had to think about. And it really made me realize that was, I like to achieve things, which is good, but I also need to realize that other people can achieve things and can do them just as well or better than I can.
So my name is Nick Wendell. I'm the director for the Center of Student Engagement at SDSU, and I love strengths. I work in a student setting, but where I've seen it probably be most powerful is in our staff setting, to really understand the different players on our team. And I'm wired a little differently than a lot of my colleagues. When I think about my top 5 talent themes, right at the very top is competition. I'm really motivated by being the best, and I don't know how else to put that, because that is a motivating factor for me. So I have to temper that, and I have to recognize that some people around the table aren't motivated by that type of encouragement. Always being cognizant of how competition plays itself out and how I do my job is helpful, because I think a competitor and someone with a talent theme in competition can come on pretty strong, especially when it's combined with somebody who has maximizer in their top 5 as well. Always trying to be the best and always trying to make a program they're working on the best. And I can push really hard, and I think those who are supervised by me have felt that sometimes, that I'm always looking for ways that we can push our programs to the next level. But that can be hard. That can be hard to work in all the time because sometimes you just have to get the job done and you can't always be strategizing about how to make it better. If I divided my talent themes into 4 quadrants, which we do often, 4 of my 5 talent themes land in the influencing quadrant. And so I think sometimes I have to remind myself the impact that somebody with that many talent themes in an influencing quadrant can have on a group, positive and negative. And I do have to remind myself often that comments I make in a group setting do have an impact on those around me. Because for me, I'm maybe just making a flippant comment or I'm making an observation based on what I'm seeing. But my delivery is important because I don't always recognize that. And so I think understanding where my quadrants landed has really helped me to be a better colleague and helped me to communicate more effectively with those I'm working with on a day-to-day basis.